Good day, gamers. Fortane here, and welcome to episode 14 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. As you can see, starter base is looking a little empty. Beyond needing to take down the Amate paper lanterns and the silt glass lantern up there, I have taken some time off camera to move pretty much everything over into center base. There's still some work I gotta do on center base. I need to create the other three sides of all the staircases that are leading up to the doors. I still got to decide on what kind of staircase I want, if I want to use stairs or slabs or what have you. Still haven't fully decided. I need to put some roots on the other sides of the tree trunk that is center base to give it more of that weedwood tree look. And I still do want to add some of the those mushrooms that, or the shell fungus, to the top of it to make it look more like a ginormous weedwood stump. But for the most part, it is very much further along than I had it previously. Like I said, beyond moving the lanterns, I've moved everything out of starter base here. So for the most part, I'll be doing everything else inside center base. Some of it's going to be on camera with certain decorating. Some of it's going to be off camera with just the grindy work. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give a last little look here for the moment at starter base. I did notice that there was a couple fish floating around here, swimming around. So if there was seeming like there was enough to do some fishing, I'd do a bit of fishing real quick. But I only saw the one fish and it's kind of swam away for right now. There's a white over there who's looking to be of a bit of a bother. But yes. Today in episode 14 of Escape the Betweenlands, I'm going to be showing off what I've been working on here in center base. And then my primary goal for the episode is to head down into the mining area to be able to hopefully find some valenite. That is the goal for today. Once I find some valenite, I will be able to start getting all of the pieces of different plants and other organics that I need to actually start doing the aspect training. Or aspect testing, I should say. So that's my hopeful goal. Whether we achieve that or not, I'm not quite sure, but at least I'm going to try. Since there is a fish over there, let's go ahead and grab a baited fishing rod here. And let's cast the line. I don't think it'll go quite far enough. Oh, maybe. Fish looks to be interested. It does have a worm on it, so hopefully it will bite. And we'll be able to catch a fish. Hey, there we go. All right. Let's start doing the fishing game here. Being very careful to not get... There we go. Perfect. All right. There was some more fish swimming around starter base earlier. I didn't go after them because, again, I didn't want to be doing too much fishing, off camera and then I get something super exciting out of it. And the little bits of fishing that I have done off camera has gotten just the same basic stuff as before, so nothing worth writing home about. Let's see. Go ahead and get the anodea meat. I've got plenty of gills and scales, so we'll just take the remains. Pack that back up. Put this away. And yeah, let's go ahead and head on down into the mines for a bit and see if we can get us some valenite. I've gone ahead and repaired all my tools. I swapped over to using the bow and arrow because it's potentially potentially going to be a bit more dangerous down there, with it being harder to see, having more chances for the whites and the not peat mummies, but the swamp witches and stuff to be able to show up down there. I want to be more prepared. I'm using the better foods that I have right now, the smoked anadilla meat, the crab sticks, and the sap jellos. Like I said, everything else is pretty well topped off, so nothing should be too decayed, except for that axe. Yeah, we should be ready to head down. Let me just show off real quick. This area is kind of dark at the moment because I haven't decided exactly how I want to have the lighting situation done in here, so apologies if it's a little dark. It most likely won't be dark for next time. But I just have a simple storage system set up. I do want to add that I have added a mod to this playthrough, this mod pack. A simple one called Friendly Chests. I realized last episode before that, that in this version of Minecraft, in this version of the Betweenlands, the chests do not naturally stack next to each other like they do in both the SevTech mod pack as well as future versions of Minecraft. You can't put, two chests next to each other, two chests to make a large chest, then two chests to make a large chest. You have to have a space between. You can convert the regular chests to trapped chests and then put them alternating, double large chest, large chest, large trap chest, large chest, large trap chest. But since I'm using the Betweenlands stuff here, I don't really have access to doing that. And having the brain of like, what chests do I want to have next to each other? How do I want to have them aligned? Blah, 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 was getting a little frustrating. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just look for a lightweight mod that I can add to this mod pack. Would have been something that I had probably added previously had I remembered that fact that the chests don't stack next to each other correctly. So yeah, it's just called Friendly Chests. And it just makes it so you can have these chests directly next to each other. So that's all. But yes, we have our block storage. Here we have dirt, mud, peat, and silt. Between stone and cragstone, limestone and pitstone, and then just kind of like miscellaneous and overstock blocks. So I have all the simulacrums and the offering tables here. We have, since there's a lot of plants and stuff that you can use for the aspect testing, for right now I have 2 sets of chests for the aspect stuff. So aspect plants, the plants themselves, the ground aspect items, what you'll get once you use the Ceremerite sickle or scythe, or excuse me, the Valinite. Let's see, it is, yeah, there it is, the sickle. What you get when using the sickle on an organic item is you get the item that you can grind, versus using shears, you get the plant itself. So you're going to have space for the ground aspect items, space here for partial aspect bottles. I'm also going to have a spot for the full aspect bottles, because considering you can combine the partial bottles into another bottle, I shouldn't have too many just partials, but there's a good chance I'm going to have a large amount of overstock of full bottles for certain aspects, because those are going to be the most common ones, and I'm going to get those quite often. And then down here is going to be spot for potions. Don't have it fully set up yet. This section here is my regular crafting components, so things like all the mob drops, ores and organics. It's a little messy at the moment. I got some work to do with it. I went ahead and combined all of the green dentrithris that I've been getting into the blocks. All you have to do is just make a little square. You get the green dentrithris, the blocks that we've been mining previously. Apologies for not showing that off. But you can just get those. You break them apart again, and you get the 4 shards back. Just went ahead and just combined them up just to compact them a bit more. We've got saplings, seeds, and then seed items. Not many seed items in this mod pack beyond like the aspect plants, but that could also be like the different mushrooms and stuff, and definitively the seaweed or the swamp reeds, excuse me. And then of course wood and wood-based items. We have our equipment chests for things like arrows, the water strainer, things that I haven't set back up just yet. Tons of raw food because I had an absolute ton of raw food. All the ready-to-eat foods, including the brews that I'm going to have down here. And then overstock and retired equipment. So because I'm using the bow and arrow, I'm not having to use the slingshots, all the pebbles for the slingshots, my old wooden swords, the bone armor, things like that. And then last but not least, the mobs, basically stuff that I've been capturing with my net. So things like the cave fish, the geckos, the mire snails, and a whole tonnage of the tiny sludge worms, because every time there's a rain event, there's a good chance I'm going to get a bunch of tiny sludge worms. I'm going to try and use more of those for fishing when I have the ability to fish, and hope to get some good stuff from fishing, but for right now, they're just in there. I've also got a little cooking area set up here. I've got my dual sulfur furnace, got my smoking rack, and I've got my steeping pot, so that way I don't have to be swapping those out. I can just, off camera while I'm working on other projects, just cook a bunch of food. They'll be ready to go, and they'll just go into storage. Over here I have my animator set up for healing items. The mortar and pestle when I need to make ground stuff, and the purifier for when I need to clean stuff off. As you can see, my stuff is already getting a little gunky, just mostly from standing here. So let's go ahead, get down into the pitstone layer, and hopefully find us some valenites. I'm going to keep my octane pick in the mobile base pouch for right now, just so it doesn't get all junky as I am wandering around. Eat a sap jello real quick to heal some decay. There we go. And downstairs we go. All right. Still got this very large ladder well here. I have not started up the pinwheel parallel mines yet. I will do so eventually. I've been more working on just kind of making the ladder well, moving stuff around in center base here. Yes, I know it is very dark. Apologies for that. We're just, again, heading down to the pitstone layer. Being very careful once we actually get down here to not get attacked too much. Now that we are down here, we're going to be keeping some good eyes out. Again, using the best food that I have because it's going to be pretty dangerous. Using the... I see you. Barely see you, but I see you. Alright, head over here for a moment. Where you at? There you are. There we go. Okay. Like I said, I just wanted to use my stronger stuff because why not? Being in the pitstone layer, very much it's worth using. Okay, try and light up. Well, I found some valenite, guys. That's a very nice find. I'm pretty sure I saw this like on camera previously. I just didn't have the ability at the moment to grab it. But yeah, there's some valenite right now. I don't know how much is here. Let's clear away some of this cave grass. And be very careful of the creatures that are potentially heading towards me. I see that little dot. There you are. Making its way over. Right. Trying to not get rid of too much of this cave grass because I do want to be collecting some of it later on. Grab any misfired arrows. I still haven't gotten many angler teeth, but it's okay. Let's grab our octane pick and get us some valenite. Ta-da! Lucky, lucky, it's a single piece of valenite. Dig up around it just in case there's any more. Doesn't look like it. Okay, continuing on. But yeah, so obviously there's a lot of things that I want to be able to make out of said valenite. The sickle is one of the main ones. Sword would very much not go amiss. Armor would definitely be helpful, and it's going to be the most protective armor that I'll be able to get. With one exception that if I remember correctly, was kind of implemented back in the Sevtech days, but not 100%. Like, there wasn't that much difference. It's called the Ancient Armor. I once found a suit of... Hey, there's more valenite. Look at that. I once found a suit of Ancient Armor when fighting in, I want to say, the Sludgeon, long time ago. And it worked. But I think in the Sevtech mod it was replaced with just more valenite armor, because it was one of those things of it was intending to be fully added in by the point that the Betweenlands mod was the state it was in at that time in the Sevtech, but it wasn't quite there, so it was either removed and just replaced with the valenite armor, or it was just the valenite armor. But it's supposed to be basically even more protective compared to... I see that red dot heading towards me. It's supposed to be even more protective compared than even the valenite armor. So as far as this mod is concerned, I want to say the ancient armor is like the best of the best. Highest protection, longest, highest durability, things like that. This is a very nice amount of sulfur here. This is greatly appreciated. Given the amount of times I've been needing to clean off my gear from moving it around and having to heal things, this is greatly appreciated. I'm not going to mine the whole thing because I want to save some of it for when I get access to enchanting. But at least for the moment, I'll mine some of it. Okay. Moving around here. Just make a little path like so. I see something trying to come towards me. Again, it's the unfortunate deep fog that makes it stupid hard to see. Where are you at? Oh, there is a white somewhere. You can see the little wiggling of the air. There you are. Hello. Let's take care of you before you join with anyone else. Ow. There we go. Eat some food to get that health back. Definitely do not want to become too damaged. Especially with all these pitfalls and different ways to be going up and down. Okay. Yeah, there's some stuff up above me. I'm gonna just close that off so nothing falls on my head from right there. That would be very bad. Let me also do this real quick. Waypoints. We're gonna turn off starter base, turn on center base. That way I can get directed to my ladder well much easier. head back down for now. We found 4 Valenite shards, which is awesome. That is definitively enough. That is definitively enough to make the sickle. The way that little dot is moving makes me think that it is a an infestation trying to get towards me. Let me see if I can give it some room to maneuver around so I can fight it correctly. It's trying. Let's just move on. Oh, hi there. Swamp hag. Okay. Be mindful of what's around. Be mindful of what's around. Okay. Back to the ladder well. Oh, I hear Chiramaw. Chiramaw is fine. Chiramaw is not a big deal. Let's see. Torch. This area is like so craggy. So many little dips and holes in the ground where you do not want to fall. You do not want to get trapped by something that you can't see coming from an odd angle. Okay. Oh, hi. What the hell? What the hell are you? Some cave rat looking thing? The hell is that? Some weird ass cave rat thing. Think I want any part of that. It's a bad idea. I'm just digging into here for a minute. Little cave running little son of a gun. Okay. Let's get some light into this area. Just to make it easy. That was weird. There's some pink mole rat looking thing running around. What, the actual... Ow? What? What hit me? I took a hard hit from something. Let me get my health back. Oh, there must be an enemy. There must be an enemy on the other side of that wall. Yeah, you can just see the red dot there. It must have phased into the wall enough to hit me. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna beat a hasty retreat for the moment. Because we got ourselves 3 pieces of Valenite. Well, technically 4 pieces of Valenite. I can go ahead and make the sickle from that. So that right there is one of the goals that I had for this episode achieved, is getting enough Valenite to make the sickle. Now, I'm not going to go hog wild grabbing a whole ton of plants. I do want to grab some plants. But let's go ahead and do this. So, like I said, we have the Valenite. We can use it to make a bunch of things. Swords, we can make a weedwood jukebox, shovel, shield, pickaxe, bunch of good things. But the main thing we're going to be using right now is to make the Valenite sickle. Now, the sickle, because it can have coating on it, it's subject to the corrosion mechanic. If the Valenite sickle is corroded when you go to harvest an organic, like some moss, a flower, whatever, there's a chance that you won't get the drop from that plant. So I want to, as best as I can, make sure that the sickle never starts corroding. So what I'm going to do, let's see, put away the mob drops, put away the sulfur, is I'm going to go ahead and get the bit of scabbous that I've got. And as soon as I make the sickle, I'm going to pop right into my inventory and put the scabbous on it. I'm not going to like shove all of it on there, and I will show you how this mechanic works. But we are just going to immediately before, let's see, I need 3. Oh, I need some reed rope. Okay. Before it has any chance to even touch the air long enough to get a point of corrosion, I'm going to go ahead and put the scabbous on. We need some reed rope. So we now have a sickle. Now, like I said, before I do anything, I'm going to take it and I'm going to add the scabbous to it. So each piece of scabbous gives 75 coating on there. So what this ends up doing is anytime there would be a chance that the sickle gains a point of corrosion, it'll instead lose a piece of coating. So it's essentially like a secondary health bar for the corrosion mechanic. So there we go. And I got the advancement. Onions have layers, tools alike. Let's take a look at our advancements here. Where is he at? Don't have a swift pick yet. Yeah, I still have to make technically I don't know why I did. There we go. Harvest ingredients using a sickle, which we're going to do momentarily. Amphibious armor, definitely got to do that. There is... Which one was it? I know I got an advancement. We saw it. Just gotta find it. Oh, it's just survivalist. Okay, there we go. Onions have layers, tools alike. Coat your tools against corrosion. Yeah. So like I said, basically it's an extra health bar for the corrosion mechanic. Anytime that it would lose, or anytime it would gain a point of corrosion, it instead loses a point of coating. So since I can see the numbers, I'm just going to keep that going all the time. That way that'll be one less thing that I then need to one less thing that I need to clean off every now and again. Let's go ahead and put this away. Now, since we have it, let me go out and show you what it looks like when you use it. Again, I'm not going to go and get an absolute ton of stuff right now, but we'll probably do a little bit of adventuring, maybe a little bit of fishing, since we actually got that. I can go ahead and put away my octane pick too. So, with the hi, hello. You just had to interrupt, didn't you? That's all right. Okay. Oof. So, as I was saying, as we've seen before, using these shears, you pick up the plant itself. So this weeping blue, for example, use the shears, you get the weeping blue plant. We use the sickle, we get the weeping blue petals. We can turn those into food items, I believe. Yeah, we can make the weeping blue petal salad. We can also use it in the censer, which we don't have access to the censer yet. It's going to be a little while. Same thing with this sundew. We can use the shears to pick up the sundew itself, which the only thing you can use it for is putting in the composter. Or if we use the sickle on it, we get the advancement, I'm a druid, because now we have the sundew head. That is the part of the plant that you get from using said sickle. And this thing has a lot of durability. It has 2,500 durability, so I'm not too worried about it running out anytime soon. But if I need to, I can just heal it in the animator. That's no big deal. But the sundew head, you can do a few things. Again, you can make it compost. But the more important thing is you can put it in the pestle and mortar, grind it up into ground sundew, which of course you can still compost. But you then feed that to the geckos to learn what aspects that plant has. You then also put that into the alembic later on, and the cooking pot, and that extracts the aspects from it. And if you'll notice, my sickle, the name just showed up in the little bar down here. That means I was holding it when it lost a point of coating. So now it's at 523. Again, not a big deal, but that does mean that I can just keep it coated while I'm out and about. So yeah, we get the sundew head from harvesting that. If we head over here, so for example, this bottle brush grass, we get bottle brush grass blades. This cattail, we get cattail head. So each plant, with the exception of like the mushrooms, each plant has something that you get when you shear it, and then something you get when you use the sickle. This moss, you get moss balls, or it's just called moss. So yeah, then I would grind this moss into ground moss and then feed that to the gecko or brew it in the stew pot. But yeah, this is the primary way, really the way of going through and getting all the aspects for things. This bone set becomes bone set flowers. The mushrooms themselves, again, they don't have anything different. It's just the bulb cap mushrooms. Same thing as if I just bop it with my hand. So, oh, hi, hello. Hello, crab. You gave me a pinch. I pinch you back. But yeah, the mushrooms themselves don't give anything different. So I'm not going to be trying to grab the mushrooms with the sickle. That's just a waste of durability. Hi, are you trying to flank me? Are you trying to flank me? You tried to flank me. There we go. Go ahead and eat a crab stick in honor of fighting them. Oh, it's a Lickitung guy. Hi, how you doing? I'm gonna shoot you with my bow and arrow. Oh, well. Hi, crab. Crab, this fight doesn't concern you. I'm telling you that now. This fight does not concern you. Ta-da. Yeah, look how many arrows that took compared to the slingshot. Just so much more damage. Yes, it's expected to do a lot more damage. It's a bow and arrow versus a slingshot, but still. Yes. Tall cattail. Ow. Hi, excuse you. Give me your heart. Thank you. Have another crab stick. Yeah, the tall cattail gave me another cattail head. So like the tall ones and then regular ones both give you cattail heads. Yeah, I'm going to be going around and doing this to a lot of different plants. There's definitely a lot of plants that I'm going to make sure that I collect with the shears, just to make sure that I have a representative sample of them. I want to make very sure that I don't run out accidentally when trying to get all the aspects from them. But for some of the very common stuff, once I have a few samples of it with the shears, I'll just use the sickle. Yeah, this Mire coral becomes this Mire coral. Oh boy. Hi, you doing a little two-step over to me? Let's go ahead and put this away for a moment, because as you can see, it's becoming spooky season out right now, which means we're gonna get a lot of swamp hags out. Interesting. Was not anticipating a red sky night to be happening during all of this. Let's go ahead and put away these mob drops. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. And then we'll put this away in ores and organics. Let's break out my other sword for right now. I can't combine these just yet. Helmet is... Let's see. Can I combine these two yet? Yes, I can. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely going to need to go out and about, getting a bunch of things, a bunch of different plants. Let's see. Put this away into misc blocks. Yep. You guys are gonna be rushing me quite a bit. Oh, at least now it's clear out. It's not both spooky season and like incredibly dark. Because that's a really bad combination. Ah, there's another one. I have to keep a very close eye on my health and the mini-map to make sure that I don't get ambushed from different sides. I don't think I'm going to go back into the pitstone layer, at least at the moment, for the simple reason of I don't want to really get snuck up on by a bunch of creatures just as they are popping out of the woodwork. So I guess, okay. I guess we're going to go spend a little time getting some plants. This was not exactly what I was thinking of doing for this episode, like going out and harvesting, because I didn't think I was going to be able to find Valenite that fast. Thankfully enough, I did. And again, I just don't want to go and subject myself to try and fight all of the infestations, in addition to fighting a bunch of swamp hags for all over the place. We got a little crab here, a little bubble crab. Ow. Oh, that was the bubble crab. Okay. Let's see. That should be the white spawner over there. I don't need anything from that. Let's head in this direction for a bit. There's some bubble crabs down here. Mine, thank you. Take out these bubble crabs very carefully. Armor's doing okay. Oh, it's running away. That's fine. Let's see. So we have the swamp tall grass. We need to go ahead and collect that. That'll be swamp tall grass blades. Hello, swamp hag. Thank you for coming to the party. There we go. Are you coming back to attack me there? Just thinking about it. Ow. There's a lot of these bubble crabs over here. And we've got another swamp hag. That's fine. Hi. We'll take care of you first, because you are the most dangerous of the creatures. Ow. If I happen to boop a plant, I'm not too worried about like losing, you know, a bit of cattail or something, because there's so much of it around. Let's just divert around the side. Oh, hi, fish. Yes, you're very dangerous. Of course you are. I mean, thank you for the angler's teeth. I appreciate it. I could use more arrows. But let's see what we got around. We got swamp tall grass. We have Venus flytraps, which we need the flytrap heads from. More Venus flytraps. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? Double swamp tall grass. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it just gives me these swamp tall grass blades. Ow. Oh, holy heck. I'm gonna run away for just a second. I got down to 2 hearts. Jeebus. That was quite sudden. Okay, heal up for a moment. Yeah, these guys hurt extra during the red sky event, so I really don't want to chance anything. And there's a mole rat over there, which that's going to tell me that there is going to be one of those pits in the ground in that direction. Okay, got him. So yeah, somewhere over here, I look carefully, there's probably a pit. Okay. Swamp plant. Oh, I got an Octane Nugget. Nice. Oh, so the swamp plants, I think, just become leaves. Yeah, so swamp plant becomes leaf. That's easy. We can actually just get leaves from the fallen leaves themselves, so I'm not too worried about that. Again, just trying to collect things that I don't have yet. Pitcher plant becomes pitcher plant trap. Oh, and now it's raining. And there's a hole in the ground. Okay. Let's eat. What is going to come from this hole in the ground? Ah, mole rats. Okay. They are called crypt crawlers. Dropped a fair amount of stuff there. That's nice. Lurker skin and ancient remains. Let's do this carefully. I don't want to run up against... Okay. They don't hit too hard, thankfully enough. So if I'm careful... you dropped a tar drip. Heck yeah. Let's put away some of these plants real quick. Boop, boop, boop. 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 Okay. All of these are now mob drops. I didn't know those guys dropped tar drips. That is awesome. Let's get our decay up. Just to make sure while we're fighting. Get the next one to spawn. There we go. I mean, I can definitely use more barrels because I've got a few things that I want to make. Some reed rope. What's up next? They seem to have a bit of a farther range to hit than I do. That's okay. Okay, this guy is fancier. He's got a shield. Oh. And he is attacking something. Okay, I'm gonna run into the water for a second. Again, we're gonna do this safely. Oh, he's a little langy. Who is attacking who? He's got a shield, so he can block stuff. Oh, he is literally blocking. Hi. Okay, so when his shield is up, he is actively blocking. Good to know. My bow, I think, is getting very corroded right now. Nope. little hard to do this. Hi, I see you. Blocking. There we go. All right. Got him. Took a bit of time. But I did get him. Looks like he dropped an Octane sword, which is awesome. I will happily take another sword to help repair my current sword. Pick up some of these arrows. Eat some balls of sap here to get my decay meter up. Probably lost a couple arrows to that, but that is all right. Yeah, he dropped a pretty good Octane sword. I will happily take that. A fresher Octane sword is greatly appreciated. Yeah, there were still a couple arrows that I wasn't able to collect over here that bounced off his shield. That's fine. I really don't care. Okay, how's my bow? My bow is getting slightly corroded, which is not surprising. Hi? Oh, you're not attacking me. I was about to swat that thing. I thought it was something swimming towards me, and there was, oh, it's a lurker. Don't hit that. You don't want to hit that. That'll make for a very, very bad time if you do. I will grab these wings. Let's grab this middle gem ore. Thank you. And we do have Swamp Hag. Oh, the leech attached to the Swamp Hag. I have not seen that happen. I didn't know that they could do that. Interesting. Okay. Let's come onto land for a moment. So I can recover real quick. Eat one sap jello. There we go. Food is good. Yep, I know. Whomp, 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 whomp. Let's go ahead and put away our mob drops. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Put those technically in mob drops, because that's how I got them. Let's go ahead and combine these swords. There we go, much better. Keeping an eye on the enemies around me. My armor's doing okay. Alright, back to fighting. Go. Got more plants over here. Swamp tallgrass. I should have a fair amount of bone set. Grab a bit. I see you running up on me. I see you there. Oh, okay. Running away for a moment because that guy was super sneaky. Okay, that's another shield guy here. Oh, well. Bouncing my arrows away. This is risky. Yeah, that's why that's risky. Because I could potentially get surrounded here. Okay, I see something behind me. Yep. Everyone gather around. Oh, lightning strike. Being careful. Doing flanking maneuvers. Ow! Okay, you're fine. Nice. And I got a bone shield. Interesting. So yeah, it looks like these guys can potentially drop their shields that they're using, as well as their swords. Hi, lizard. Okay, so yeah, there's another... Gotcha. I guess we're fighting crypt crawlers right now as well. You know, you have a plan for an episode. Ow! You have a plan for an episode, and then things happen. It's like, well, I guess we're doing this now. I will say that I'm very, very glad, just right off the bat, that I was able to find enough Valenite to be able to get the sickle. So that was, you know, a main goal for today. Let's eat some balls of sap here. Let's get my decay meter back up. Okay. Is that hole still in the ground? It is. We're gonna run over, run back, just to spawn one thing. We're gonna take out... Okay, that's potentially bad. Ow. Let's get there. There's a white over in the distance there. I'm sure you guys saw it running around. Very much want to make sure that that white does not get too close to the other enemies. Otherwise, it'll potentially merge with them and be very bad for me. There we go. White gone. Very good. Let's see what kind of creature popped out from the hole over here. I do want to, if I can, nab that cardinal flower. Thank you, got it. Okay, it is just a regular crypt crawler. Ah, yes. You have a blue gem on you. I've not done anything yet with the gem system. I do have one amulet socket that I can use to make. I just haven't yet. Speaking of things that I can use, let's grab this hanger. And then I believe we get a different hanger piece. Yes. So you have hanger, the items from shears, and then you have the hanger, the items from the sickle. They probably grow like vines. If I just set them up someplace, they'll just grow downwards, and I can get more of them. Okay, that hole is still there. I'm going to go around the long way. Ah, yes. Good point. Algae. I'm going to need some algae. Specifically, the algae item gotten from the shears. Probably not going to need a lot. That's probably way more than I'm ever going to need to use. But I now have algae clumps. Let's see. We got a bog bean flower. Let's just go ahead and snag that. Be careful of our surroundings. Can I combine these yet? I cannot. Let's put that here. Mob drops. Let's empty out. Boop and boop. Okay. Good for the moment. Ores and organics. Again, just trying to keep a very close eye on what's around me. We are still in the Red Sky event, and I do not want to die. This has been all things considered, this has been a very productive episode. I do not want to risk a death. It'd be very bad. Ah, here's something I'm going to need. poison ivy. So, keeping a look around. So we've got poison ivy, the thing that we can collect with the shears, as always. And then we have poison ivy, the thing that we can collect with the sickle. Poison ivy leaves. Oh, there we go. Rain event is done. Red sky event is done. There's still going to be a bunch of swamp hags around, so I will still need to clear them out. But that's okay. They're not going to keep spawning. And they're also not going to be doing a ton more damage. So yes, let's go ahead and grab some poison ivy. I don't think the leaves give you anything different. Yeah, no, the leaves don't give you anything. Swamp plant is just the leaves. Let's go ahead and grab some pitcher plants here with the shears. The volar pads become the volar pad leaf. And I want to say the weedwood bush... Yeah, that doesn't give you anything specific. It just breaks into the sticks. Okay. Cool beans. That's kind of what I thought. Let's clear away some of these bushes. I want to say these nettles will give... Yes, those give nettle leaves. So both the regular nettle and flowering nettle all gives you the nettle leaves, which we'll be needing. Let's see what other kind of plants we can find. Plenty of swamp plants. Grab the pitcher plant here with the shears. Another volar pad. Oh, I see you. Ow. Ow, okay. Running for a moment. Let's wait till we can heal. Perfect. Okay, back to the fight. Apparently they don't like being... They're really not able to walk through the weedwood bushes. Interesting. That could actually be helpful if I'm being ganged up on by a bunch of those things. I just put some weedwood bushes around me and use it as a kind of a blockade. I'm not going to say it's, you know, a perfect idea, but do I have moss? I probably have moss, but moss. Get some Venus flytraps, which I don't think there are multiple. Yeah, there's no like multiple versions of the Venus flytrap depending on, you know, what stage it's in. They all just kind of stack. But I also need the Venus flytrap trap head. Okay. Get some more nettle leaves. What enemy is over there? That is another swamp hag. Ah, we're at one of the weedwood tree stumps that I've been chopping through like crazy. What's following me? Probably something from down in the cave. Most likely it's an infestation. That's all right. Ah, yes. So we have the fallen leaves, which, if I remember correctly, yes. So I can convert the fallen leaves that I have using the shears. I can convert those just into the leaves, those. Or I can use the sickle and get leaves straight. So, good to know. Boop. I will probably, honestly, more often just go ahead and grab the leaves with the shears, because I use those for cooking. Yep, this is one of the weedwood tree stumps that I've been getting a whole crap ton of stuff from. I don't think you can get anything different. Yeah, no, you can't get anything different from the shell fungus. That's what I thought. All right. Let's see what other goodies we can find being out and about. I'm gonna feel real bad for this, but I do need some more spores. Hi, hello? Oh, it's an anglerfish. I saw something moving up on me, and I wasn't sure if it was another swamp hag, because I saw a swamp hag in the distance. I just want to make sure that one right there wasn't a swamp hag. But no, we're good. Okay, moving along. Rest for just a second. Got another volar pad. Boop. We got swamp hag. Go. Again, I feel real bad for doing this, but I need those spores. Thank you. Okay. Nothing else really nifty or specific here. Hello, White Tower, which we will most definitely be going into at some point. Not today. Especially considering we are pretty much at the end of this episode. Let's take a look around, see if I see anything else that catches my eye. All of these mushrooms are, again, just you just get the regular mushroom item no matter how you pick it up, so not worth wasting the durability on the sickle. Speaking of the sickle, I'm going to go ahead and put it away along with the shears for the moment. Yes, Mr. Swamp Man, you're very scary, spooky. Spooky, scary Swamp Man. Let's see. Ah, yes, this is Soft Rush. Good point. I should pick up some of this. Good point. So we have the Soft Rush, the plant, which is that. Pick up a few pieces of it, like so. And then we've got Soft Rush leaves from using the sickle. We've also got here Broom's Edge. Not a lot of Broom's Edge around, so let's definitely pick it up with the shears first. Yeah, we have Broom's Edge and these Fragmites. Broom's Edge and Fragmites. And then we have the Fragmite stems from using the sickle. It does eventually become like a lot of kind of clutter in your inventory, having, you know, the plant and then the piece from the plant. But honestly, I'm doing this right now just to make sure that when the time comes that I do start going through and getting all of the different aspects, I don't run out of something. I've had that happen a couple times where mob drops. In the past, back when playing Sevtech, I'd find, like, let's say 4 of those crimson plants, but like, oh, okay, that's all I'm gonna need. I go take the crimson plants, I grind them up, I turn them into, I use them on the geckos to find out what aspects they have, and then it turns out that I now have none to actually extract aspect from. So I'm like, oh no, now I need to go hunt down more of the red plants to get enough to be able to get a sufficient amount of aspect from, to then start creating the aspect seeds and aspect fruits. Oh crap, these red plants are very rare. They are much harder to find. I now have to go, you know, I have to go on a merry chase to find them. So, trying at least as much as I can to prevent that from happening. I'm sure it'll probably happen for at least one ingredient. I'll be like, yeah, I only need like 3 of those. You know, 4 ingredients later, oh, there's still more aspects to find, and then I need to go find some more to get the aspects from them. Great. So, just while I'm out and about, trying to get a good amount. Now, like, once I get up to, say, a stack of each of the different plants, I should be fine. I shouldn't have to worry about it. Let's get this pickerel weed. And I see some enemies heading towards me, so we're gonna jump in the water here. I am getting surrounded. Ow. Yep, like that. Okay. Better defensive position. That's fine. You can all crowd around right here. It's fine. You're not surrounding me, which is the important thing. Start whittling away at you. There we go. And that's how you fight a bunch of swamp hags. Armor is doing okay. We'll get some of this pickerel weed. And this marsh hibiscus. Yeah, once I have like a stack of each of the different plants, I'm not going to worry about like... Oh, hi. Okay, it's just a Churamaw. Churamaw turned around and chose violence. There we go. I should be able to combine these 2 shears now. There we go, much better. But yes, let me show, since we're back here at center base, the reasoning for collecting all this stuff. And then we'll go ahead and collect the wisp. It is that type of sky event where you can actually collect the wisps. Head around to the entrance here for center base. Nor the... Well, we can't really... We'll kill this swamp hag and then we'll head back in. Excuse me. There we go. Swamp hag over there looked like it was wearing a hat or something off in the distance. Looked weird. Alright, back inside. Let's go ahead and eat to get our decay meter back up. I will sort through all of these goodies later on. For now, they're just gonna sit in my pack. I'll sort them all out. So what you can do with all of these things is, let's say the marsh hibiscus flower, for example. You take the marsh hibiscus flower, you put it in the mortar and pestle. We'll actually go ahead and grab our life crystal for this mod's version of automation. It uses some energy from the life crystal, some durability, to automatically crush the things for you. So, kind of nice. You, of course, need to watch on the durability of the pestle. Make sure it doesn't get too low. And the durability of the life crystal itself. But it's got the little bitty life crystal icon right above it. We do need to make a composter. There's the composting bin. I need ceramite ingots and weedwood planks. I don't think I have... I don't have any more ceramite. So I'm not going to be able to make that. I don't think I got enough. Yeah, I only got 1 nugget from those guys. Okay, well, unfortunately in that case, the composter is going to have to wait. We do have a gecko cage. Let's see. What am I looking to make? The last thing. this right here. I need 6 lurker skins. How many lurker skins do I have? I have 4 there. I know I picked up 5. Okay, yeah, so that's going to have to wait as well. That's all right. Yep, that'll all wait for next time. But essentially, what you do, you have the gecko cage. You place the gecko inside the gecko cage. You feed it one of these ground items. You, with the herblore book in your inventory, you will then learn what kind of aspect that ground item has based on the reaction of the gecko. Each ground item, and if we take a look, there's a ton of them. Yeah, each ground item can have anywhere from 1 to about 4, I believe, aspects to them. You keep feeding them to the geckos. There's a bit of a cooldown for feeding the geckos, but you feed them to the geckos to learn all of the different aspects from them. Once you have all of the aspects from the item, you can then put it in the not the alembic, but basically there's a pot that you can use. That's the crab pot filter. Is it a cauldron? Maybe it's a cauldron. Do not remember what it's called. But yeah, basically there's a pot that you put the aspects into, you boil it up, and then compost bin, chest. I'm just looking for it real quick. There it is. That's it. It's the infuser. Yeah, you put the stuff into the infuser with some water. It becomes a basic bucket of infusion. You then put that infusion through the alembic, and that extracts the aspects from it. Which we might, depending on how much octane we have. No, we still have to make the gecko stuff. Yeah, we'll probably work on that maybe a little bit next time. But again, to go over what we've been able to do today, we've moved everything, or pretty much everything, over to center base here. A little bit of tweaking left to do, but center base is pretty well done. We were able to head downstairs into the pitstone layer to grab a bunch of Valenite. By a bunch, I mean 4, which was enough for us to go ahead and make the Valenite sickle. We headed out and about, got a bunch of plants, fought a bunch of swamp hags because of the red sky event, and some crypt crawlers and such. So, got some goodies from them. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.